All right, welcome to the next episode. I will be talking with Donnell Stidhum today, and he is an expert about 401k and IRA accounts that are self-directed. I met him several years ago through some other networking groups, but I would like to bring in Donnell to the show. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, welcome to the show. I am happy that you could spare a few minutes with your busy schedule. I've seen your
Absolutely.
schedule and it's absolutely booked back and forth. So congratulations for this.
Thank you.
Tell my audience what you're doing exactly. I will share another video that does have most kind of important information that you are doing, but I will also share your social media profiles, your YouTube link, and I will try to point people to that one video that you mentioned to me that's most important. So
Sounds good.
let's
All
start.
right. So my name is Donnell Stidhum. I own a little company called Self-Directed Retirement Plans. And what I specialize in is creating properly structured retirement accounts, both IRA and 401k, that will allow you to be able to invest in what you want. So self-directed. And again, I have a definition of what self-directed means. That definition is for you to be able to have full control without custodial interference to be able to invest in what you want when you want. So it's a small company that's been around for well over 20 plus years. I purchased the company, right about 2 years ago from my business partner who is still involved as of today. But it's a company that's been around 20 plus years creating properly structured, self-directed retirement accounts. And here's something for your audience. When you get a moment, go to your favorite search engine and type in self-directed 401k, just those three words, self-directed 401k. What you will find once you get past I'll call it the ads, we're probably somewhere around number 3, number 4, maybe number 5 on the first page of Google. Now, how is that possible? It's a very small company, been around for a short period of time with these two people. How is it possible that we're on the first page of Google? It's because very few companies understand how to structure self-directed 401ks. And so if you were to put the same self-directed IRA in your favorite search engine, you might find us on page 4 or 5. Why? Why the difference? Well, it's because banks love IRAs. We have all been conditioned to believe the Roth IRA is the greatest retirement vehicle to date. Well, here's what you'll learn. And here's what you'll learn when you stumble across some of my videos and where I break these differences down. IRAs, individual retirement accounts, are easy to create. Banks love them because it requires bank support. It requires a custodian. Whereas a 401k is actually a trust. And that trust is able to function as any trust. Trusts have an EIN number, which means it does not require custodial support. And so therefore, you're able to use it differently. You have more flexibility. And because you don't require custodial support, there's the option of being able to eliminate the need for a custodian to interfere with what it is you're trying to do. Ultimately, what that means in math is a self-directed 401k costs less to maintain. So when you start removing banks, like I won't name banks, when you start removing custodians out of the way, it gives you more autonomy and more growth and more dollars to be able to use and leverage to invest in what you want when you want. Ultimately, that's what we do. We create properly structured, self-directed retirement accounts for you to be able to invest in what you want when you want, whether inside of the market or outside of the market.
Yeah,
High level.
obviously a lot of rules and regulations behind this.
Absolutely.
What you can lend on, what you can put into the trust or account, and it's fully explained to others when they're creating those accounts. So there is no problems from reporting and IRS perspective as well. So I do have two. I got my IRA and I got separate 401k as well, self-direct.
Perfect.
So I do understand the differences. The reason that I would like you, I brought you to this interview was specifically to talk about the products for like family offices, because this is what I am doing right now. And I really would like you to spend a little bit more time on that product, because that was something that I learned only last year about. And now really considering this as an option for my enterprises, for my businesses to use it as a vehicle for the money generating. And yeah, let's talk about this because that was interesting. I heard you talking about this at the last self-storage group meeting. So that was important to me.
So I believe what you're referencing is the rollover for business startup. Is that correct? Okay. So self-directed IRAs have their own rules, own process. Self-directed 401ks have their own rules, own process. But rollover for business startup is a totally different beast. You talked about rules. When I'm educating around IRAs and 401ks, there are some specific rules you have to be aware of. And high level, it's prohibited transactions and disqualified persons. Those are the two areas you have to really make sure you're not, I'll call it, causing a prohibited transaction or working with some disqualified person because it could invalidate your retirement account. But when we're talking about a rollover for business startup, those rules don't 100% apply to a rollover for business startup. What is a Rob's plan? What is a rollover for business startup? It's where you are able to use your retirement dollars to fund your business. High level, I'll give you a quick example as to what this looks like. I had two clients, both brothers, both retiring from AT&T, and they both had about $500,000 in their retirement accounts. They were looking to work together to be able to invest in a franchise. They were very confident that this franchise would do well, and they were eager to withdraw, take the tax and penalty hit on $500,000 each to go take advantage of this opportunity. And I pressed the brakes, I pressed pause on this process as quickly as I could, because I shared with them there's a way that they could do this without having to take that tax and penalty hit. What does this look like? Well, it first started with a self-directed 401k. So brother A gets a self-directed 401k, which means now he can transfer the funds from AT&T from his previous employer into the checking account of his self-directed 401k. He now has checkbook control over those dollars. Brother B does the same. But then we create a C Corp. So they have a self-directed 401k. Their role in this self-directed 401k is they are each trustees of the trust, trustees of this 401k. But now we have to create a C Corp. That C Corp has no money in it, but we create a C Corp. And what can your 401k invest in? What is your 401k allowed to invest in? Your 401k is allowed to invest in just about any non-traditional investments, to include businesses. Meaning, can my 401k buy stock in another company? Yes. Well, what's the best company to buy stock in? How about your own? Now, when you hear this, you may hear disqualified person if you understand the disqualified person rule. Again,
And
Rob's have their own structure. Go ahead.
different entities, right? So you got
Right, different entities. Exactly. So my point is, you have a 401k with $500,000 in it. You can buy stock in the C Corp you just created. And let's say you decide that the price of that stock is $1 a share. So now you have the ability to transfer $500,000 out of your 401k into the checking account of the C Corp. Well, now you're wearing two hats. You're the trustee of a 401k that has 500,000 shares of the C Corp, and you're the manager of a C Corp that can now take this $500,000 sitting in your checking account and do what? Well, just about anything. You can purchase office supplies, you can hire, you can renovate, you can basically get the franchise off the ground. The only thing, well, not only, but one of the few things that you cannot do is you cannot take a salary at this point. But you now have a fully functioning business that was funded 100% by your retirement dollars. So you took a business that had zero liquidity and just gave it $500,000 influx of cash. And again, if the brothers are doing it, that's $1,000,000. But bottom line is, so now you're running this franchise. This franchise is doing well. Well, as the business does well, you can start to take an income. In addition, what can you do as the manager or the owner of the C Corp? You can also go back to that 401k and buy your stock back. Well, who sets the price for the purchase back of that stock? You do. So therefore, if you sold it at $1 a share, couldn't you buy it back from yourself at $2 a share? So imagine now taking $5 million out of the checking account of your C Corp and buying back your $500,000 of shares from your 401k. What just happened there? Your 401k just made $500,000. And then you can rinse and repeat and do this all again. So Robs are pretty spectacular, but here's the key piece here. Very few people understand how they work. Very few people understand the requirements associated with how that C Corp is supposed to be structured and the plan documents for that 401k. If that's something you want to know more about, I would suggest we hop on a calendar to kind of discuss that further. But the bottom line is it's a pretty powerful process and procedure for you to be able to use to be able to purchase a franchise or buy a business or fund a company when it's lacking the capital to be able to do so.
Yeah,
That's it.
I agree. That's beautiful, and that's how I really wish I knew about it 2 years ago, because I
Mhm.
had spent a lot of my own money to get the companies going and really invested, regular way without using those tax advantage accounts. And yeah, I think that's one of the mistakes I made in my life. So be it. Move forward, you learning and you moving forward. So thank you for this. I'll definitely put your contact information inside of my
Mhm.
social media, so as a reference, and really more information that is available on your social media profiles.
Happy to help.
Browse through Donnell's YouTube channel. He's got really fun show, and you're doing some live shows as well, right?
We do. I go live every Sunday. And, if you were to ask me, Donnell, what do I do? Again, I'm just a retirement consultant, but I don't just create IRAs and 401ks. I would consider myself someone who helps you identify where your leverage is located, meaning there are strategies around velocity banking, understanding how to leverage your home in the form of a line of credit to be able to, you know, invest or pay down debt or whatever the case may be. I'm a licensed life insurance provider. I build properly structured cash value life insurance products for you to be able to do infinite banking or structure for income. At the end of the day, I focus on where's your leverage, how to access it, and how to get you properly structured so that you can invest in what you want. My objective is not just to be the bank. I want to be the bank. I want to be the life insurance company. I want to be the financial institution. I want to be self sufficient so that I can take action without someone having to give me permission to do so. So that's really what this is about.
That's a nice setup. That's a nice organization, and I really highly recommend you with other of my students. So let me tell you what I built. So I've been part of several different masterminds, and I kind of love the camaraderie, but I love learning by listening. For me, reading books was not always the best. I fall asleep, but you getting tired. But for the last probably 10 years, I immerse myself with audiobooks. So I have Audible account for many years, and it's a fantastic thing. At some point it was changing to listening to the different podcasts, but now I'm going back to the books, and I'm actually rereading some of the books that I read listened to a few years ago, because there small piece of information that I find like now I see it from completely different perspective after going several transactions, after building one or two other businesses. It makes a difference, especially for people that like me. I've been 25 years in the corporate jobs, and as a consultant, as a manager, as a leader in an organization, it is completely different world. So it took me really long time to understand those concepts, and I think also what we got from our parents stays in our heads for a long time unless it's checked by some other environments or other
Right.
communications with people. So that is mostly important. That's why I feel like networking and really getting into some coaching programs, it is quite valuable because you get that information given to you on a platter. You don't have to search for those information because they will give it to you. So the Scott Myers program was fantastic for me, and that was one of the best masterminds that I joined. I joined few others just so I can see different classes of assets. So next year I am gonna be building marketing companies, and that is gonna be the process for me, from marketing through specifically for the single family houses. Those are gonna be different corporations. Marketing for the multifamily, it's gonna be different corporation, different partner, and then self-storage as well. I do have a partner for the self-storage, and just gonna be doing way more marketing from that perspective. But I converted myself into that educational business, knowledge business. That is fantastic. since I liked creating a lot of different training programs and workshops, this is what I am doing right now under the Grow Connection. And my $10,000 mastermind is Glenview Mastermind. It's a local for the local business owners, local solopreneurs, those people that maybe need some resolution with their businesses. And I am a professional business advisor over there, specifically advising on resolve the problems quickly or
Got it.
connect you with the right individual. In real estate, that is the most important thing. Your team will make you or break you, and you need to align yourself with the right individuals. So it's very, very important to be networking and really talking with others and not trying to do everything by yourself, because that is gonna take you so much longer. So
That's
I'm
right.
joining the Grow Connection, and I am really doing another mastermind that is gonna be aligned around my Moonshot project. And the Moonshot project is going to be quite interesting. I think you might be actually interested in it. I'll be building a big facility that is going to be phased out. I'm looking for about 300 acres land. Needs to be on a lake. It's going to be phase one. I'm going to be building RV park. So that is something that I can start bringing money to this right away. I'm going to be adding a sports center.
Wow.
Big space with about 12 fields to 15 fields, like volleyball courts, something that can be interchanged into other sports as well. Coming along with this, under that phase two is small motel and hotel. Phase three, I'm starting with the single family houses. I think it's gonna be like a A-frame houses, something simple that I can deploy very easily. Amazon type houses are really modular buildings, so we can get through that part of the project quickly. And last two phases, I am doing something else as well. I started like a sensible farming, or really, farming your own food inside of your house
Oh,
or around.
okay.
So I
Okay.
started doing this with microgreens. So microgreens for me is like, really nutrient dense packed species that are, small of bigger plants like broccoli, peas. I got sunflower. I got different varieties. But hey, you can self-sustain it, and by that time, expect within 2 years, I'm gonna be going into a production of food, basically, because that's regulatory issues. I really need to make sure that the facility is also abiding by all the rules that are specifically needed for that production. But I'll be growing mushrooms in order to turn them into plant-based deli meats. And I am reaching out to a few partners right now that hopefully will do something and will premiere it at the beginning of the next year. And I think that's gonna be quite fun project. But that facility will be producing. But then as a last phase, I always loved going to Disney, Florida, with kids, with myself, and it was always fun time. So I'm redoing something very similar to, I don't know if you've been in like a Disney Springs, all
Yeah.
the restaurants and the community type. I'm gonna be building some condominiums over there and really having that structure with the restaurants. So it is a moonshot project. And I'm telling you that this is a moonshot project because I know that at this point, I'm still gonna have to be working very, very hard to find enough partners, enough money to really even start that project and put it in the charter and really incorporate specifically for that. So that's gonna be a venture or journey throughout the next year. First thing is finding the land, right? So now I
Right.
am really just starting to look for the site specifically, but I do have other projects locally in Glenview that I need to do first, and that is gonna be a lot of fun as well. So I know
Pretty
that
awesome.
I know that you do have another meeting, so I'm not sure if there's anything else that you want to mention. Again, I will share your contacts with a lot of people, and I really hope that many of my listeners or my students will actually also look at your profile. I can do consultation or advice to professionals and really talk about this specifically because that's what I really see coming off from the corporations right now and now starting knowledge business, I think that's going to be part of my education as well, just showing how easy it is and what it does. So basic education that you are providing as well. But for really execution, well, I need to send people to either you or other providers that do it right, and that is going to be a part of my process. So thank you very much.
Happy to have you.
If you would like to join, I'm starting a wellness challenge. I think that is actually my biggest promotion, and I'll be talking more about this on Saturday during my masterclass, and then I am doing like a 3-day, 2 hours each day in the mid of December. That's going to be 13th, 14th, and 15th. And that is going to be a workshop that is going to be for business owners, solopreneurs, and as well as professionals currently working in other organizations, thinking, am I going to get fired next year with AI coming in? So please understand, everything that I did over last year was to avoid that situation of being fired again. I've been fired twice in my life. After 17 years layoff from Pamper Chef, and after about 5 years with the manufacturing place, that was another job that ended abruptly. And that creates ripple effects in a family, it's a problematic. But
Absolutely.
I'm telling to everybody, it's like, you get fired, find different opportunities, find something that you can be doing by yourself. And if you would like to open a business that is related to the real estate investments, this is what I can really show you how to do it specifically, with how to leverage your resources, how to leverage your money, but also how to leverage the knowledge that is clearly available. So that's going to be a fun program. And I'm currently inviting a lot of people to those structures that are fully built, and I'm happy from that perspective that I was able to achieve that. But I know that I would not be able to achieve that without technology that exists in 2024.
Right.
I've been looking at this maybe 10 years ago. It's like, I'm still working at Pamper Chef. I started doing my real estate investments at the same time, and I was thinking, Pamper Chef's got so many resources. Why I cannot open a wing for their organization and do the takedown of the properties? It would work, but it was me, right? I was still really having different functions over there at that point, and that didn't happen. But it gave me ideas about really creating what I'm creating under Pure Experts right now, and the structures that I have, because it's so easy for me to deploy the technology for others. And that's how I will be cooperating with other businesses, almost like a marketing agency level, but I'm adding more over there. So I'll have the whole practice that we show you how to do it. If you don't want to do it yourself, I do have a staff that can fulfill that whole package. I do limited also legal and accounting and bookkeeping advice as well under different people that are part of my organization, part of my networking group. So that is going to be a lot of fun. Thank you for your time. And I'm looking forward to maybe next mastermind for self-storage. I was planning to go and go physically, but there was the virtual option, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna take the virtual option, and I still learn a lot, right? It's a reminders. It's that
Absolutely
community that is there, and you seeing other people. Well, this person got success. This person did this because they took those specific steps, and I just like those environments. So I'm creating my own masterminds right now because there were some things from each mastermind that maybe I was not getting and I was not happy about.
right.
But now I am creating something that would provide all that information. It's really, really relatively easy right now to structure that and really build those entities, and business systems became so much more advanced and so much more like a business in a box is my premier product. So you come in, I can set you up with the business. If you do have another business and you want to open just a marketing business for the real estate, I can be very, very clear about the structures that we can build from that perspective. and then you got your own marketing company that does that deal sourcing. And depending on your situation, depending on your strategies, it might make sense, or maybe you're just gonna be working with the wholesalers, and that is also a simple way to get properties into your portfolio. Thank you very
Perfect.
much, Donnell. I
Happy to help.
appreciate this time. Have a great day.
Thanks. You too.